And that is how died of starvation.
Ah, yes. Oh, what an interesting conversation we just had about. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. It's me, Megafire here, and welcome to Chax Break. Along with me is my co-host,
Dorko for you, guy person.
and today we have a very special guest, Mandu.
Oh, I'm so honored. I could cry.
I don't
Also,
know what I'm doing here.
some other guy. Yeah, he kind of walked in. We don't even know who he is.
Don't
It's
look
a
at me.
mystery.
Yeah, his name is
You
Apron.
can't read it, and I don't want you to read it.
Yeah, it's like Apron or something. I don't know.
It's the mystery man.
Um,
It's just a scribble.
yes. Well, so today we decided to revisit Sonic Adventure 2, seeing as
Yay, more Sonic!
yes, I know this is like going to become a Sonic podcast, but it was recently revisited by the majority of our little group over here. And
Through
I
different
think
means
some
or
of our
consoles.
opinions have changed. We've got more insight on it, a little fresh look on it. Who knows?
Yes.
So I guess let's just go each one at a time and see what we kind of give us a little general idea of what you think of the game after playing it. Mandu, go ahead and start.
My general idea, like, before I actually played it recently, I thought that Sonic Adventure, the first one, was uh, bigly, like, a lot ahead from the Sonic Adventure 2.
I'm giving you the death glare.
But then I realized that it's just a little bit behind. The Sonic Adventure 2, I mean, is a little bit behind Sonic Adventure.
Opinions.
But like, it's really good anyways. The scoring system I really enjoy. The Knuckles level I also really enjoy. The Tails level a little bit less, but what can you do? They can't all be winners.
I'll definitely give points for the scoring system.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but concretely, more like on Sonic Adventure 2 itself. Like after you've revisited that game, after I don't know when's the last time you played.
Actually, I think Mandu just played it for the first time, and that's it.
This is this your first time, Mandu?
Well, I
The
mean-
first time I played through all the Hero and Dark mode, like, completely, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, interesting.
Did you even do
So-
last story?
No, I didn't do last story yet.
I still need to do that.
Okay. Well, you seem to
Adds
really want to
kind
speak.
of a bit to the story.
Yeah, I guess it really ties things up. But Dorko, your view on this subject?
I guess it's kind of interesting. Back when I first played it, Sonic Adventure 2 was the first one I played. I think it came out first, and then like later, I played the other Sonic Adventure and just fell in love.
Did Sonic Adventure DX come after Sonic Adventure 2 Battle?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yes.
Oh. That's interesting.
Think.
Well, okay, more based on like you played Sonic Adventure 2 before, and then you got a little break from it, and you just kind of last time you kind of spoke about it through like memory. How about now? You replayed it 100%. Well, not 100%, but you attempted to. You did all the Emblem things with me. Just
Was your
revisiting
initial
it.
view that like you hated all the not Sonic stages?
Yeah, definitely like enjoyed it in the first playthrough. Kind of disliked it in hindsight, I guess. And I still have problems with it, but at the same time, I still enjoy it, and I still prefer it over colors and such.
I guess it really speaks out to how the Sonic series has gone just over time.
Calm
Anyway,
down.
Yeah.
Oh, it sort of was experimenting with the Adventure series, and now it sort of found its way with the newer series with 2.5D.
We can hope the next one changes it. I do understand why people, when they want to play a Sonic game and then they're stuck fishing or lots of treasure hunting stages that can be kind of tedious.
Or
When
holding B.
yeah, it's
Holding B with amazing Eggman dialogue over it, I'm okay with that.
I'm tempted to. Well, yeah, playing as Eggman helps a lot. Tails not so much. I was gonna say something, but forget it. Uh, my
Okay,
brain
well,
is slow. Stop! I'm trying.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I never know when you're done or if you're just having brain farts. I apologize, Dorko-san.
It's a little frustrating. I totally understand that because when there's like the gameplay is like far too different. Like some older games. Like actually, I think platformers started to do that a lot with like N64 era. Like Donkey Kong 64 is all that mini games you have to go through and like your boat riding and there's so much stuff they cram into it. Oh yeah, Sonic Adventure had a lot of mini games too. It's like you're not like they don't.
Um,
Hmm?
go on. I'll add on later.
So just some platformers, they just like they add a bunch of characters and then they add all these mini games and different ways to play, which I guess I can see the appeal in that, but it's just kind of losing its side as a platformer, and I can see why people really don't dig that, and I kind of have a problem with that too.
I just have one thing to say against with your statement.
Yeah.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's a platformer, but it's got like five different like methods of control when it comes to like the bird thing and the ball and other ways of just trying to
Mm.
get shines like the race. But it does it well enough so that it's still fun. Whereas Adventure 2 and like other games, they have like their shooting and their treasure hunting, but they aren't quite as polished.
Well, I have to admit that some of those Galaxy mini games are like really pointless, but at the same time, I guess they controlled well enough, huh?
Yeah.
That really helped.
There's also the fact that Sonic Adventure used those gimmicks for entire stories, and Sonic Adventure 2 for like 2/3 of the stories. So
I
Yeah,
mean,
and there's
because you can do platformer with different like gameplay elements just as long as they don't overwhelm you.
and there's
yeah,
also the fact that like the first Sonic Adventure had it a bit, and there's also Sonic Adventure 2 where, like, yay, Sonic levels, then you're interrupted when you have to slog through Tails level and then Knuckles level, and you have to wait for Sonic. And the first Sonic Adventure, I always feel the same way when I'm enjoying all the Sonic levels, and then it's like, do this very slow paced Star Fox like thing, and I'm like,
all right, yeah.
like, it's just so boring and easy, it takes me out of it when I just want to enjoy Lost World, the level, and the Eggman base, etc.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. When I played Sonic Adventure 2 way back when, I never did the Emblem stuff. I 100% did. I finished both stories and the last story. Got some emblems, I'm pretty sure. The game there was even when I played it the first time, it definitely stood out as a Sonic game. I mean, that was when already Heroes was out, I guess, and I played them all three of those at the same time. Um, Three of those meaning DX, Battle or Two Battle, and then Heroes. It definitely stood out as being interesting in terms of it gave you that kind of Sonic Adventure thing, but it just fused all the stories together, so it wasn't just like complete Sonic story then go on to the next story, and it's kind of like you're going back in time constantly and just piecing things together. While this one is just like play through the game, the stories intertwine. It all happens around the same time. That was interesting. I like that, but it does take away the little adventure field, which I like the adventure. I mean, it was just I guess it was just aesthetic, but I liked it. It was cute. It was nice. I liked that. It was a little hub world. I dug it a lot. It was nice. Um, but going through Sonic Adventure 2 again now, I could definitely see there are some problems that I guess I might have been too blind to see back then. And a lot of it definitely goes to the fact that the Tails levels just are not fun. They're not fun, not compared to the Eggman, which I don't know what the difference is, but
It's the character, really.
I don't know. I
That,
think
yeah.
the stages were a little more tedious with Tails. Like
I can
they
see that.
kind of. Mandu told me like Tails was more. Mandu and Six both told me the Tails levels were platform oriented, and it was like,
I
well,
don't really remember that really. I mean,
this
there's still a
this
bunch of stuff you do with Eggman, but it's just there's a lot more shooting involved.
yeah, there's just not enough room with this robot thing to do it to be a successful platformer, especially when if you touch a wall while you're hovering, you just basically like plummet down like a comet. That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever like. It just messed me up so much. Like you try to hug a wall just so you don't like accidentally fall, like lose your uh path, and the wall like comets you down as you're hovering for some odd reason. That was just like a lot. That screwed me up a lot.
I think it's an instance of adventure games being a tad bit buggy. Just a bit.
Just a bit, just a little bit. This is the Steam port, by the way. We all played. So
I don't even know how much buggier it is or
oh
not.
no, we didn't all play it on the Steam port, did we? Me and Dorko played on the Steam port. 6, I think, too.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't seem to fix very many bugs. Another thing I noticed is the Knuckles levels and the Rouge levels are actually pretty. I like them. I mean, not as much as Adventure, but I think I enjoyed them decently. I think the only levels that I have complaints about is the Eggman base levels, and maybe the space levels.
Maybe the space levels.
Okay, after doing the emblems, I really got like used to this. Like at first, I was like, "Man, I have to learn." It took you a while to learn the map, but once you got it and you like started over a couple of times, and I know that's not like any defense to the game. You know, like, oh, okay, so I have to start over a couple of times before I. I know, I understand. Yes, I know, I agree with people that find these tedious levels. They're not that bad. I mean, a lot of the aquatic mine.
That's like
Rouge
the only real tedious level.
Yeah, I think space and really Eggman's base. Ah, God, I hated Eggman's base. That one killed me. I could not. Space was easier than that. Both the space levels were easier than the fucking Eggman base. I just could not.
I think
I
the
don't.
problem with some of the Knuckles and Rouge levels is that there's really not much danger of dying half the time. But the
Yeah,
thing is, since you're just exploring, looking for three pieces that you can't really find in like space, especially so often, you're gonna spend like 10 minutes looking for one stupid piece.
yeah,
Whereas, like at least in the linear levels where you die or whatever, you can at least start back maybe like half a minute behind, but you still know where you're going. Whereas the
yeah.
treasure exploring, you just have no idea where they are half the time.
There's
Which I think,
also,
although two did improve that with the monitors at the very least.
well,
Hmm.
yeah, there's that. There's also, but they did that the radar change, which I guess I can understand why they did it. But man, that space level would have been a little bit more tolerable when I could, find any three of them by radar at any point.
There's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
with the mad space that Rouge had, the
Oh,
gravity planet
gravity.
levels were just complete shit.
Yeah, I was about to get to that. Yeah, the gravity in the fucking. Oh my God, it was basically a Super Mario Galaxy
In
beta
2001.
alpha edition broken as tits. It just didn't work very well. Other okay, let's see. So I covered the
Can I add
that's
something?
yeah. Go ahead.
Um, it's about Sonic Adventure. Like the charm of. Oh wait, maybe that was misplaced, but whatever. Sonic Adventure had a lot of charm with its. The characters basically had their own vision of the story, and that
Mm-hmm.
appeared through the dialogue changes that sometimes occurred, with like Tails having different dialogue in his story than Sonic's.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue changes do amuse me, and that it's kind of disappointing when every other Sonic game is like the same dialogue from both sides. I guess
Oh
it,
Yeah.
it
yeah.
makes sense that way, but I just kind of miss.
Well, there are certain lines that you don't get to see in both sides.
Yeah, there's that, but it's just like a tad bit disappointing because I like the creativity in changing up the lines or changing up the roles because Tails is lying or Big doesn't show up from Gamma's point of view or whatever.
I guess Big just doesn't, or he doesn't notice Big like as a threat, so it's just kind of like he ignores it.
Yeah, that's your theory.
I do like okay, Sonic Adventure 1 was incredibly, it had an incredible atmosphere, it had an incredible presentation. Um you just can't take that away. Sonic Adventure 2 basically took it one and just kind of improved, well, quote unquote improved
Everything got
gameplay.
serious.
No, well,
Well,
I agree that Sonic Adventure 2 is a lot more polished than Sonic Adventure 1
yeah, yeah.
because Sonic Adventure 1 did have some jankiness here and there.
Hmm.
The especially the voice acting is kind of like, well, okay, it's not
Mouth
probably not
movement is kind of improved.
kind of, but like sometimes there's like little. Well, it's not a good example, but sometimes there's like little cutoffs in the voices. It's like adventure.
Oh, you're not even good at.
Uh,
I'll make you eat those words.
I think that
Oh,
was
yeah.
a developing issue. I hope.
I'm pretty sure that was just localization problems.
Yeah.
The voice sync and the anime. That was just the most. I'll make you eat those. Like he just cuts like Shadow's just like really slowly. He's just presenting his words, all seriously, and then Sonic's just like, "Fuck you! I'll make you eat those words," and he's like comes in like a little angry bitch.
There was a really great animation where Shadow's like, "Hey, don't you want to see or hear the rest of my awesome insult?" And then Sonic just grabs the subtitles and stuffs it into
Makes him
Shadow's
eat
mouth.
his words.
Yeah, I love it so much.
I think you're gonna have to include a little link there.
Of course, of course.
Pretty sure that's like Sonic Paradox or whatever.
Oh yeah, they put that in, but I saw it like months early because I follow the animator. It's a pretty swell guy.
Yeah, no, that's just. I think that Sonic Adventure, both games have something fucked up about their voice acting / animation that just. It's just the charm of it. It's not even like something that you go and what is this? Video or a booking
Still
image.
the best Sonic voice of all time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right, Joven.
At this point, it's like Sonic Adventure. It's
Yeah,
just it's got its little appeal.
Sonic's got a new voice. He's pretty much got the same personality, but new voice. Isn't that cool?
I just definitely want to say that the Sonic Adventure Eggman magnificent.
Oh, beautiful guy, Mike Pollock. You also are beautiful, man. But it's just this guy had his own style going.
But so many robotic and Eggman voices, like cartoons, etc. Like they're all like really good, or not maybe not all of them, but many of them.
They just all have their own little.
Except the Sonic Underground one, at least.
I don't even. I don't even. I don't even.
Exactly.
I really like comparing Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, Eggman, and the delivery of the voice acting. Because Sonic Adventure 1 has like this Eggman that's like hammy and shit. Like he's really loud, hammy.
Well, he still is at Adventure 2, but it is more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has like a more serious performance a little bit. He tones down.
It's probably because he's more like the game focuses on him more. Like
Yeah.
he gives.
And he is more
Yeah.
serious, and he's
And serious shit goes down in case you haven't noticed.
and
The
he actually
planet might blow up.
and he actually has conversations with like colleagues. Like if he talked the same way, that'd be funny in itself, I suppose.
He's not talking to Rob. Oh.
Oh. um, I really enjoyed the final story. Mandy didn't play it. Okay.
Well, you can explain it to me. It's not like it matters.
Spoiler: Shadow dies.
Sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Don't
But
worry,
no,
just read many versions of the plot adaptations in there. Many Sonic version games and comics and shows.
I just
Like Sonic X and Sonic the Comic and Sonic the Hedgehog comic and Sonic and whatever.
And
Actually, I don't think he dies in Sonic comics.
And don't worry about the plot holes or whatever, because they're all explained in Shadow the Hedgehog. Go play that game.
Yeah.
That'll help.
Oh my gosh, I really don't understand why they had to do this thing. Like, we made a character, okay, let's kill him off this game. No, wait, this character might work for plot purposes for later games. Why didn't you just keep him alive? Nobody would have said a thing. I mean, it's like people accepted the fact that they introduced another hedgehog. It's not like right now where it's like 1 million hedgehogs the hedgehog.
He needed to die a hero and then come back a hero.
You say 1 million hedgehogs, but there's only 3, unless you're
Yeah,
counting.
there is. Yeah, honestly, there is that. But people just, I don't know why, but that third hedgehog introduction was just like, we have too many hedgehogs. I agree. I don't know. Just Silver probably was too much. But I don't know. When Shadow the
Actually,
Hedgehog
yeah.
came out, I was like,
Actually, Actually, there's 4 hedgehogs. Amy's a hedgehog, right?
Oh,
Let's just get into hedgehog terminology now, why don't we?
I didn't
She's
even
she's
consider
a
Amy.
porcupine. She's a porcupine.
I didn't even consider Amy as a hedgehog for some reason.
She is Amy the Rose.
Girly
obviously.
thing in dress. Yes. Also, I think
It's damn tempting to look up band characters now.
I don't know why they decided the whole shadow bringing back thing. Like I think it worked really well as in like the ending to Saga Adventure 2. But I mean, I'd imagine that bringing him back is that oh hey this guy's popular. It could be a regular Sonic character, but
Exactly. I think it was really like just his character was really nice. Like just what not his character. What they did with his character was really nice. Like it was a good touch. You know, it wasn't you didn't expect it. You know, from a game like Sonic or fucking Mario's games like that. You don't expect a main character to die off. That's just like what? It's like taking Bowser. Kill it. Oh, okay, that's a bad example.
I kind of zoned out for the past 3 minutes. Were you saying something relevant?
Yeah,
I wonder.
I was saying how like taking Shadow and then killing him and then bringing him back was stupid because
It's a
Like-
video game.
It's like a
I-
sellout.
It's
really.
another Dragon Ball comparison.
I know it's just like what they did. No, like I was applauding like what they did with this character in Sonic Adventure 2, like how they killed him off. Like it's a main character. You didn't expect that. Like nobody expected like a
Final
main character.
Fantasy?
Although,
Oh,
if he never appeared again, then it would be like, well, duh, he was a one-shot character. But there you
So
go.
I guess he loses either way.
I suppose. Well, yeah, it's first time shock. You know, whatever.
There's just no appeasing the fan base. Well,
I would be curious if they were
Now,
planning to
did
bring
they
him
ever
back
say
from the
that he
start.
died in the game? Or did he just go to a better place? Sayonara.
Also, I don't think Paper ever gave his general thoughts.
oh yeah, paper.
Hey, you're not supposed to.
Fuck!
God damn it.
I read the name on Skype, and it's all I can comprehend. I'm sorry.
Apron, would you like to give us your general view on Sonic Adventure 2?
I played it a long time ago, beat it 100%, came back, realized there's still a whole bunch of physics exploits you can do. Found out I still enjoy the game a whole lot just because of all the shit I can break. That's what I like about it. It's very unpolished in certain ways, and I love it for it.
You should explain what you did with the 0 points Metal Harbor.
So yeah, basically there's many different ways you can play the game, and one of them is basically trying to get as low as the score as you can get, and one of those is getting basically as little points. What you do is you skip every single ring, every single box, every single enemy, and you gotta probably wait like 10 minutes before you hit the goal. Now, Metal Harbor, there's a lot of required rings and enemies you have to spin dash or hit or whatever. But with a little exploiting, you can basically just spin dash jump all the way or glitch your way to background props that for some reason you can stand on and skip the required places. Hard as shit. I spent like 80 lives trying to do it. It's not worth it. Don't try it. And it turns out that's the easier way to do it anyways. But
Oh man.
you can pretty much do like every Chow mission without the Mystic Melody. If you look up like professionals who play the game, they just completely turn it into a whole different way of looking at the game, which is what I like about it.
Speedrunners tend to be compelling in that way.
It's true. It's
Well,
true.
sometimes there are games where it's basically just execution. You just do it.
Well, what are you talking about? I love my Final Fantasy speedruns.
There's a couple sequence breaks in those games, but yeah, they're generally very straightforward with those kind of games.
More of the older ones are sequence. Hey, well, we're getting off topic.
But yeah, I like it for its gameplay, plot. Super serious Sonic before it became lackadaisical Sonic, right when it was before lackadaisical Sonic.
Even though it's like cheesy as is and whatnot, it's a really fun plot to go through, and I like all the characters. They all have their nice purposes and such.
Like Knuckles fucking busting over the rocket ship just so he can get out and get his emeralds.
It was definitely they definitely took a exotic idea for approaching the music.
Oh
It
my
was.
god.
What,
He's talking
what?
about Knuckles raps.
Oh yeah.
I love
I
them.
Just they definitely decided to go for the edgy factor. We're not Mario for reals,
But
yo.
they're trying to be cool. You have the
It's not a bad idea. It's just definitely something I wouldn't expect nowadays.
I just want to know who the actual rapper is, so that like I could
he
see
comes
if he
back.
had. No, just his legit name. Maybe he does his own stuff. Like,
Dude, he has like a YouTube account, and his avatar is like this really gangster Knuckles smoking weed. I'm serious. Hey, for real?
somebody, you have to link it to me right now.
I can't. I'm sorry. Later.
Okay.
I think they're bringing him back for something Sonic related. He promised more Knuckles raps, but I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god! Oh my god! What if it's
Was
the
it-
new Sonic cartoon?
Was it specifically Knuckles rap?
I'm pretty sure he specifically said he'll be bringing more Knuckles raps. This article was a lie, but I mean, you know.
Does that mean more Knuckles gameplay?
Hey, you can. I doubt it, but it's possible, I guess.
Or is he just gonna come in? It's like, yo, I'm Knuckles for Joe, just Knuckles in the fucking buckles.
Yeah, then he
Like
leaves.
that.
Hey,
He just
here I
comes in,
come.
has this bitchin' rap song, and then just leaves.
Yo,
No,
yo, Knuckles,
Plays
I'm out.
Sonic again.
Knuckles just comes in. He's like, "Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather.
And
You
I'm
can
out.
call me Knuckles. I like Sonic. I don't.
Don't do the whole song.
I'm
Why
not.
can't I say it's this guy?
And then he just walks out. That's it. That's his introduction and his ending. It's just like, hey, we know you like the rapper from Sonic Adventure. Here he is. Okay, guess what? You don't even get a place as Knuckles.
The original Shadow, it's Knuckles. For reals, yo.
Well, technically, yeah, I guess. In a way, he is.
Maybe we could expect a wacky multiplayer mode where it's another Mario Party knockoff, and what plays during the mini games is Knuckles raps.
I just found something out. Unknown from ME actually played in Sonic and the Black Knight
Really?
I just found I wanted to search up the Wikipedia just now and
Oh, I
Right.
guess that makes sense. Maybe that's a character theme because
yeah, Sir Gawain. It says right here it was featured in Sonic and the Black Knight as Sir Gawain's theme and could be played when the Medal of Gawain is used. So what? It's just like a super secret exclusive.
I think that game has like unlockable characters, so maybe that's what it's talking about. But I don't know. I never played it.
Sir Gawain is Knuckles. He's the Knuckles guy.
I know.
I just don't know what the emblem medal.
I know very little about Sonic and the Black Knight. All I know is that there's different characters. Sonic has a sword, and also you can beat the first game with the first level with your eyes closed.
Oh yeah, I did it. I tried it out. It was for sure.
At least they kept the Eggman song for a couple games.
Oh yeah. And then they decided to keep the Sonic 06 Eggman theme for a couple games. What the fuck?
I guess it was just that good.
It wasn't. It's just generic. It's disappointing.
I don't know. I like the remix in Shadow the Hedgehog.
No,
There's
not that.
2006 wrong things about Sonic 06, but the music isn't always one of them.
Well, yeah, Sonic 06 has some nice songs, but just not the Eggman theme. It's just too generic and boring for me, especially compared to what they did in Sonic Adventure and the other adventure. Well, Shadow just remixed Eggman, but you know.
Speaking of Knuckles' theme.
Oh yeah,
there.
I left it. Dang,
I think maybe this warrants posting it up on the.
and it just disappeared. Okay, thanks for linking a panel from the Sonic comic. For the record, that has a lot of references to like Sonic lyrics. I mean, there's literally a part where Eggman's just happily walking along and he's just singing to himself, "I am the Eggman."
That's great. Oh man.
Exactly.
The comic knows its material.
I've really enjoyed those comics. I need to read more.
I really need to like reread from like issue 200 or something.
I better start from the beginning. I'll see you in a year.
Oh my god, I already did that once, man. I had no life. That was before I had a Skype group to join. That was like literally my evenings was just Sonic the Comics. Archie.
Oh,
Trademark.
should
Do
we
you
keep?
collect the comics or what?
I had 2 issues, and from there I acquired scans. Um, I've been trying to catch like just whenever I get a chance to find a pack on sale, I would get it. I've only gotten one so far, but I can't find it anymore because it's probably lost in all the chaos. And
Should we keep going on about this or try and transition?
Well, we kind of lost the original topic. We just sort of went to, hey, let's talk about Sonic General.
Oh.
well, I don't really know. Oh my god, this is what we were trying to avoid from the beginning.
Oh, for some reason I thought we've talked enough about Venture 2. I guess not.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we're. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Pedro?
Since I haven't really played any of the more recent Sonic games, I should probably get to at least Generations since I actually bought it some time ago. I can just still say Adventure 2 is my favorite Sonic game.
There are some varying opinions there. Although I reckon that Generations is the best out of the Hedgehog engine trio, as it were.
Yeah.
It just seems, to me, just Generations just only looks like the one that might be interesting to play. Well, Colors received some.
I don't like
But-
colors. If you want just like my heads up on it, just get ready for a lot of 2D parts.
The Sonic
and a lot of-
Colors is as polarizing as every Sonic game. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
I like some people like Moon really liked it and made me wish I got it, and they're just complaints like some of the level design is weird, the alien power-ups break the pacing or whatever, slow you
It's
down.
very slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about like, God, I was playing the game. My sister, I just randomly picked up the controller, and she was like, "Go through this level for me, please. I don't like it." I'm like, "Okay." Wow, my sister doesn't like a fucking level in Sonic. That's something new. I mean, I was like, okay. So I started playing, and it was like 5 seconds of an intro where I was just like running in, and then all of a sudden I'm in like this little 2D, like it's not a maze, but like I'm supposed to hop from platforms. I'm like, wow, this is really slow. I'm literally just hopping back and forth. It's not even challenging. Why am I playing this? So I just stopped playing, and that was the last level I played. I eventually got back and I tried.
Sonic.
Not at all. At least in the classic Sonic, it would be like jump, jump, and then go on. But this one is just like jump, 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 jump. Am I at the end yet?
I did see a part where you're literally just standing on a moving platform and waiting to get to the end.
Yeah, I think I watched my sister go through that one.
That's
I watched
also
my
in
sister play.
Generations. Well, I guess you can boost the platform at least. Yeah, I can observe from Generations that my least favorite level is the Colors one, so that's not very promising.
From what I saw from that level, I can agree the later half is tedious because it's just rocket, 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 rocket over and over,
Yeah,
and it seems kind of boring.
yeah.
But the first part doesn't seem that bad.
Oh yeah, I definitely dug it when I was like, I start the level, I just see that very lush and beautiful green fields for the first time, and I'm having a lot of fun. And then I'm at the 2D factory, I'm like, oh no.
See,
Platforming
Dorko
and
knows
shit
what
like
I'm
that.
talking about. You're just like, you have this like lush freedom, and you're just like, I'm running, I'm going fast, I'm jumping around, I'm hitting enemies, and then all of a sudden you're just like, fuck
It's
it.
funny too, because it's like both like video gamey and also like visually, where you're so happy in the green, and then you're all sad in like the mechanical area and dull.
2D. Yeah.
It's almost symbolism.
Yeah. No, I mean, shit. We went.
Sonic General.
And
So,
Ladies and
uh,
gentlemen.
Sonic
So,
all the
okay.
time.
Sorry. So, guys, how goes your Fire Emblem?
I beat it
life?
10 times!
I wouldn't
That
doubt
might be
that.
true on my part.
Dang it.
Maybe we should clarify Fire Emblem Awakening is what.
I think Paper's played all of them by now. Or, I did it again.
Okay, 5 of them.
Alright. I don't even know how many there are.
I played Sacred Sword or Sacred Stone.
You don't
that's
even
it.
know the name of it.
That's the only one I played and almost beat. I don't remember if I beat it or not.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it a lot. I didn't even like finish it once, and I was like, I should start a second file. It's kind of amazing. I haven't played it all today. The internet's just been distracting me so well. I can't even get back into my addiction.
What exactly do you find appealing about it?
uh, Man, I don't know. I guess I just learned how Fire Emblem works. I started getting really into its strategy and all, and I do
Because
appreciate the
yeah,
characters, cutscenes, writing, and music, and the actual gameplay. I mean, it got a bit
it's just for
frustrating.
me, it's just sort of a syndrome of like just one more chapter. It's like okay, I
Oh yeah.
beat this chapter. I solved the puzzle of how to orient my units and still live. It's like I can maybe do one more chapter, and it's like then I spend half an hour actually like equipping them. So it's like okay, I gotta get through this stupid thing because I spent so much time getting their stupid asses ready, and then I spend like an hour actually beating the chapter. It's like, I think I could keep going and
That
just
happened to
rinse and
me too.
repeat.
Yeah, that happened to me too. Oh man, some of those levels took me forever. Especially that desert one where trying to save lady person, princess I think queen. Fuck.
Spoilers.
You just jog along in the desert, and I'm just so slowly going by it. But before I can even take on the second group of enemies, there's like those dragon flying units from behind, and I'm just, how do I deal with this? I was kind of dumb at first because there's like the right open area, and then there's the left area that's like really crammed, like one square. For some reason, I kept shoving all my units in this tight hallway, which was pretty dumb. I don't know.
The game is generally pretty good when it comes to like enemy placement, so you do have to at least think, but it's not always. Well, some of the chapters are just sort of like we're gonna send 20 enemies at you at once. It's like generally there's like waves of it. You don't have to deal with everything at once. So they're generally good about that in Fire Emblem games.
I keep uh, I keep using this one strategy. I feel kind of guilty for it. I just like if there's like a hallway, I guess in general, just throw Frederick out first. But if there's like a hallway, I'll just like have Frederick just sit there and wait, and he's like a tank that just absorbs enemy after enemy, and he kills
That's a
everything.
legitimate strategy. It's choke
Je-
pointing.
Jesus Christ, that sounds like when I used I don't know how many people which one how many of you guys played Sacred Stones, but Oswald? Not Oswald, yeah, Oswald. He was the knight, right?
Uh, yeah, we'll just go with Oswald. I don't know his
I
actual
don't
name. It's like
the big guy with the mustache.
That's the cleric.
No, the big fat one with the big armor and the spear.
Oh, the berserk. Wait, spear.
Um yeah, didn't they have the spear?
This is
He's
going well.
berserker.
Anyways, keep going.
Anyway, yeah, he was just basically he was the tank. You just put him in front of everyone and he just tanks everything and kills everyone. That's what I did with all the little hallway levels. There was a level in Fire Emblem where you had to rescue like a prisoner, who's the brother of somebody in your party, and basically you could either kill him or you could have that character converse with him. And I just literally there was like a hallway. I cleared everybody out. I put like that knight there, and they all just kept coming and killing and killing, and I just kept killing them like that. And eventually, at that point, when the brother came over to attack, he attacked him, and my guy counterattacked, but he didn't kill him. So I just moved him away. I had the first and talked to him, and from then on, we just like steamrolled the rest of the units. And there was actually a lot of moments like that in Fire Emblem. And honestly, I don't know how I heard in Awakening you shouldn't do this, but just grinding for one character is not a good idea in Fire Emblem games. At least from what I noticed. I don't know about Awakening, but doing like
There is
Depends on
one
depends on
character.
who you grind.
There is one character that's like really bad at the start, but if you grind him up, he gets really good later. It's tough
yeah,
to get
okay.
him up though. But
Where
yeah.
he can essentially solo the game.
Oh, that's exciting.
I'm not joking.
I, well, I've seen it early on with Frederick, so if that's just the late version, then that's well worth the investment.
Yeah,
I just feel guilty sometimes. Right? Like it's kind of that feeling where you're winning so well, you're like, "Am I doing it wrong? Is this too easy? Should I be like nerfing myself?"
That's another nice thing about Fire Emblem. It's a good you can basically play any way you want. You can be a heartless bastard and let your units die without any worry. You could just get one guy and just train him up to be an absolute monster. It's kind of like Pokemon in that way, except a little, maybe not as complicated, but
It makes me sad whenever my characters die. I literally want to just toss the game away and be like, what have I done?
So,
I just want to add one thing. There is a Fire Emblem where you unlock extra chapters by killing a bunch of your units.
what?
Yes!
How does that work?
Basically, if you don't have enough units to deploy in a certain chapter, you will unlock special chapters where you get new characters and such. And if you kill like everyone except your main character, you will get replacements. And they have names like Wickling and LE or like LIME or no LAEM
This sounds obviously horrible.
and WEKLIN.
Slaughter all my friends just to get some new guys.
Then they're called Wickling and
Wickling.
Lame.
Wakabadaba.
Like the game insults you for these replacement characters. So yeah, it basically goes like against everything Fire Emblem has established, and it's kind of it goes against the Fire Emblem way, but actually it kind of creates new fun because you can basically be a heartless bastard and allow your units to die without having to worry too much.
How absolutely sad.
Is that like really something like you have to do to experience?
You don't
something like-
have to, but it's
No.
like,
I mean like that's like a good thing, or is that like a punishment of sorts?
it's more like the game is trying to help you out if you get like a bunch of your units killed, like
Kind
so
of like
you-
a super guy kind of thing.
like
in a
so
way.
you don't like lose entirely. It's kind of helping you out with all these other units.
It's just so the game
Like there's
is not
there's
winnable.
no real repercussions for losing units because you'll get replacements, whereas the other games you generally have a limited amount.
I remember thinking back when I did like just a demo of Awakening, like when some characters would die, like your avatar, it's like game over forever. But when like the important healer dies, it's like, oh, you can keep going. I'm like, how far could you really get without the healer? Because I would imagine I'd be pretty boned.
Actually, I don't think I use my healer very much until like later on in the game. So
Well, have you played Awakening?
no, I haven't played Awakening. I'm trying to fit into the conversation.
Well, the thing is with healers that you can reclass characters to be healers like past a certain point. So
Not in all the games.
not in all the games within the Awakening you can.
How long does that take?
When they
just-
reach level 10.
Yeah, there you go.
That takes a while. I don't know if I've seen a character yet that goes in the healer.
Yeah, like each character has their own specific classes that you can reclass them in.
Interesting.
It's generally like magic-based characters, or like I think some of the flying units can go cleric.
Also, I was wondering something that I think I was gonna eventually ask you. Is like I had a thought like, what if I just like used Frederick like as least as possible and just eventually never include him in my team? You think that'd be possible?
Oh, it's what a lot of people do. Like Frederick, he fits into like an arch type of Fire Emblem where like you get this like promoted character really early, and he'll help you like through like maybe the first half of the game. But later on, when other characters start beating him in stats, he can't really keep up. So most people just like bench him and never use him again. That's sort of like a Fire Emblem tradition, really.
Actually, I had my Friedrich on level like 2, I think, or level 1 on my game where I finished the first act. So
Also, I want to
Well,
correct
first
myself.
half, like eventually, other characters will start outclassing him.
I want to correct myself. Earlier comment. I did not play Sacred Stones. I played just Fire Emblem, the Sword of Flame, or the first Fire Emblem, basically.
The Game
Yeah.
Boy Advance.
Yeah, well, it was it was on the Game Boy Advance, but originally I think it was on the NES or something.
Can't even remember the name of the game you played.
Well, okay, I know. My cousin had Sacred Stones, which is why for some reason it just in my mind it was. Oh yes, I had. Also, the name I was looking for is Wallace, and yeah, just Wallace. He's cool.
He's a cool
Wallace
guy.
he's a cool guy. Just my boy Wallace. Oswin. That guy. Oh man, Oswin was also another. He's the
Doesn't
first
have
knight.
He doesn't have
Huh?
a mustache.
Yeah, I know he doesn't. I don't know why that. game in my head. I guess I just gave him a mustache because he was bald. Bald people are usually just I process with a mustache, like a big bushy mustache.
People who don't have
Anyway,
hair, I can only imagine them with hair.
Make him so much better and more appealing to look at.
it's true. But anyway, just those two knights are overpowered as fuck. Also, I think what you were talking about with what's his name?
Frederick?
Frederick, yeah. The best thing I could like put a counterpart in this game is he's like a cavalry knight, I think, or no, a paladin. His name is Marcus. Yeah, Marcus is a
Marcus.
just
Again, it's a Fire Emblem tradition that you get like a paladin or whatever cavalier unit early on who's promoted, and he'll carry you through the first half.
dude. He'll carry you through the second half if you fucking let him. Nigga's overpowered as fuck.
Any
Classic.
unit can be if you let him. Which is
I
what
try.
Awakening does exceedingly well. Basically, any unit becomes your god unit if he gets lucky enough.
I was attempting to really balance my team, but it's really difficult in this game. I don't know if it's hard in Awakening, but in this one it was really hard for me to.
Was there a certain like class that you sort of geared towards? Like you said, you like the knight dude, but was he like your only knight that you used?
I think I only used Oswin as for knight because when I used what's his name, the other one, I just said the name
Wallace.
Wallace. He was really overpowered. Like he just like I think it was just the first half of the game. I used him and I leveled him up to the second class of knight. I forgot what that is.
General.
Green Knight. Oh, General.
General. Yeah, I got him to general, and he just like literally just. I used him in anywhere, and he took like 1 or 2 damage, and I was like, why? Why aren't you dying? Like Dorko said, can I just like debuff myself? I don't know. I stopped using him, and I just like switched him out for Oswin, and then eventually he got really powerful too. So Marcus was just constantly there.
And this was in the second half, right?
Yeah, this is about the second half.
Because the thing is, in the first half, he sort of acts as the tutorials, like promoting units, and like he's supposed to be overpowered at that point. But
Yeah,
later on,
I
he comes
know.
in sort of like a balanced unit. Like he's not as
Well, not
overpowered
if you
compared.
used him afterwards, like a lot. Like I used him after that tutorial thing. I used him basically every time, and he just basically went in and killed like every boss. Like not everyone, like the next 2 bosses or something, and
Yeah.
then he became like God. And I was like, oh no, I think I fucked up. Also, Marcus did that in the beginning of the game too. So
There's one unit. I think his name is like Kellum, or the constant
The-
joke.
Keelam or whatever.
Yeah, the constant joke is that he's invisible or whatever.
in Awakening,
Yeah, and he impresses me with just how much he can take. Like there was one time where like I guess it was like a boss enemy, and like he hit him with like a crit, and then there was another enemy that just attacked him, and he still lived with like 2 HP. I was like, dang, he's a real tank.
is he a thief?
No, he's
He's a knight.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. When you said invisible, I
I know that's part of the joke. Is he's this
Yeah.
really big guy with like huge armor, and it's like nobody notices me. Like,
It's just a wall.
I enjoy the characters in the Fire Emblem games. They all have their they're all really nice. Like there's real perks to keeping them alive. It's just
It's what I prefer, like why I prefer Fire Emblem over Advance Wars or something, because I actually care about the units I deploy.
this is
yeah.
Whereas Advance Wars, it's like I can just send my cavalry and just run into this tank so they can do 2 damage and die.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I like
And the one thing that's interesting is that Fire Emblem with Awakening, with like casual mode, you can still sort of get that kind of gameplay where it's like, I can send my units to die, no split, they'll come back. Like, and sometimes, and with Lunatic especially, you might have to.
Tag that lunatic.
I think like a lot of the characters give you like this incentive to keep them alive. Like there's this one in Fire Emblem whose name is Dorcas.
I like him already.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but he's a fighter. Got an axe. He's an axeman. And he starts off as a bandit, but then like as you go through the story, you realize that he's not really a bandit for choice. He's just trying to support his wife, and I think he has a child. and he's trying to make money. And you get to the point where his wife like asks you to help him and like get him to not be a bandit anymore. So you do that, and he joins your team, and he's like, "I will bring honor to you, my wife." And so like his whole like every dialogue you hear, it's like it's just like, "Oh, I want to keep you alive. You got a family you want to come back to. I can't let you die." So it's like you just like
Actual pressure for keeping your units alive, which is nice.
yeah, it's great. And then Urk is the first mage you get. He comes in with the first cleric, Sarah. Basically, you want to keep them alive for each other because you're keeping Sarah alive because Urk is her bodyguard, and I swear to God, I ship those two, and they're like an angry married couple. Anyway, yeah, that's basically the reason that those two should be alive, and the list goes on. I mean, it's just like there's reasons. They all have their own like personalities and just incentives.
So many
Now,
interesting
admittedly-
Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah, admittedly, some Fire Emblem games don't do this as well. Like, for some games, like recruitment, it's just like, "Hi, I'm Bob. I fight things. Let's
Oh,
go."
you're hired.
And that's
Oh.
basically their one line.
Oh, Florina's the only one I didn't give a shit about. She died the first level I got her. It's the first Pegasus Knight you get. She is so weak. I just
Most of the international like Fire Emblems where they do emphasize a bit on like character personality and like supports. Because the ones that like maybe like Japan only, those are like really the bland characters that like you don't really give a whole lot if they die, but if you have to like if you want to keep them alive, it's like they're just numbers.
Is there like a lack of dialogue or
Yeah.
okay?
I mean, like they have like maybe a little cutscene, but you're lucky if like more than your main character gets one in certain games.
It's just there was like a slight chance that maybe it was bad translation, but it doesn't sound like it.
No, and I think a lot of people didn't like Radiant Dawn for the way they sort of like blitzed the support system for that reason. But I have yet to play it myself, so
I don't know how
Interesting.
many Fire Emblem games give you the ability to have a pirate as your unit. But the first Fire Emblem had that, and it was really wicked. I mean, I personally didn't use him at all, but like the fact that I had the choice to use him was pretty cool.
yeah, there's
are you talking the very first Fire Emblem, or
Fire Emblem, the Sword of Flame.
because
Yeah,
the powerhouse
Fire-
actually that actually was a thing in the beginning. There was a
Dart.
rule for it.
Yeah, well, the first Fire Emblem was the one for like the NES or something, but this one's basically a remake with
Yeah.
complex. Yeah, Dart. His name was Dart, and he was a pretty cool guy, I guess. His story was kind of meh, but he's a pirate. Whatever.
His story's sort of expanded with supports, but yeah. That's one nice thing about the games is that they do. Each character does sort of have their own like backstory that you can get if you keep them around. But it's like if you feel like this unit's crap, you just never have to worry about them.
Yeah, you just don't even pick him on your team. I mean, you can still stay in your party. You can still see the dialogue. Like Dorcas, he had a there's a time skip in the game. Well, it's sort of like a time skip. Yeah, it's basically a time skip. Because you go from Lynn being your main character to Ellawood, and Dorcas
For
and
Hector.
yeah, well, like your hero, your lord unit, because Lynn's chapter where she goes and she finds her grandpa, the king of whatever land. Now you're playing as Ellawood as he tries, because the game is like split up into sagas. And anyway,
It's
Dorcas,
like-
if you keep Dorcas alive, you meet him again, and he supports, like, he has like this thing where he's like with another fighter and they're bounty hunters, and you're like at a port town and you're under attack by these pirates, and then Dorcas and his friend come out, and they're like, "What's the ruckus about?" And he's like, "Hey, it's Ellawood. I remember him." And then Ellawood's like, "Is that Dorcas though?" It was just like the most intensive dialogue where Dorcas is just like, "It's time to hunt some pirate booty." I was like, "Okay, Dorcas, you're my favorite character ever." Just like little moments like that where they just kind of appear out of nowhere and just like, "Dorcas, is that you?" I love Fire Emblem so much. Oh my god.
I'm definitely
Then
interested.
why
in
don't
it.
you have Awakening?
I don't know. I guess I don't want to sell my soul out to the devil.
Calm down. You can control addiction, I think.
This is Dorko.
You have an actual job. I'm sure you won't suffer the awakening curse.
What's that?
It's when you wake up and you play Awakening all day.
When you wake up and realize that you already have 50 hours logged onto your Fire Emblem file and you're still only like 3 chapters in.
Man. Just
man.
hearing about it like months ago, like, ah, man, that silly paper addicted to it. A game must really like it. And then now I'm like, ah, I know how it feels.
Happy birthday.
It's a wonderful. Hey, I'm actually getting used to. Well, okay, like just a few days before Fire Emblem, I finished Link's Awakening at the off when Nintendo.
Dude, you're
coins.
really you're on point with all these awakenings.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, ain't it? Go from one awakening to the other. Really waking up a lot. Didn't plan for that.
Did you realize that you woke up when you realized these series weren't that bad?
I definitely feel a little stupid when it's like, I'm having a lot of trouble. I know, I'll just look at what someone else is doing, and it's like, I notice all these things I never noticed while playing it, and I feel like, I'm really stupid. If I knew about these things, I would have had a lot easier time. Like, my brain just was not registering. Like, they show you like, this guy is the weapon of it. Like the whole the triangle of weapons that I just forgot about after they introduced it. I feel like a real game grump.
Oh my god, how do you forget about it?
Tutorials are stupid. What does that work again?
If I recall, it's like lance beats sword, sword beats axe beats lance.
Something like that.
There's a couple other weapons.
And yeah, there's
the
the
other games
magic.
do have like earlier games do have like their own little magic triangle, but
The one thing that was kind of weird is that like you have the regular boxes of info that pops up when like your character is about to attack someone that tells you information, but like apparently like you hit a button and then it switches to a more convenient and simpler version that that tells you a lot more helpful information, and like the character portraits are really big. I'm like, wow, that's really useful. I wish I knew about that. How did I miss out on that? I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I really should have explored option menus and stuff a lot more. I guess I'm just lazy sometimes. But hey,
again, if it allows you to basically play the game exactly as you want it to be. You can play it simple,
Oh, yeah.
you can play it complex, you can play it auto.
you gotta love when there's useless features like examine the character and then you see the 3D model doing random things.
Oh well, I guess there's 3 different sagas in Fire Emblem. There's the Lin one, the Eliwood, and then the Hector one. All 3
That's
are
the exact same thing as Hollywood, just with extras.
Hector's is. Oh, okay. I guess yeah.
I actually just got done beating Hector mode.
I don't know. All I know is that I remember that it gives you the option to play as some kind of I assume that Hector mode was just like kind of going through the game in Hector's perspective, but the more I played through Eliwood, I was like, wait, Hector never really leaves Eliwood's side, so what?
Essentially, it's just sort of Hollywood's story, but from Hector's point of view. There's a couple extra chapters and little more emphasis on like certain characters, but otherwise it's pretty much the same thing.
I really enjoy just I can't.
Let me just say one thing.
Yeah.
I would want Hector over Chrom for Smash 4. Because
I don't know.
dude uses an axe, not a sword.
Oh, I gotcha.
Dude, Hector uses the double-ended axe too. He's great.
I'd predict that it's probably going to be just Marth and Chrom. That seems to be like a general thing between people too. They're like, yeah,
Pretty
prediction.
much, he's the main character after all.
I'm
Although it would
kind
be
of
interesting to see like if the Avatar from Awakening came in and it's like he uses magic and the sword.
I guess
I'm
in a
kinda-
sense, I could see like some disappointment or sadness because it's like, man, Fire Emblem has so many interesting characters and you just get like blue hair.
Generic my unit.
Oh, there's that too, and also main character who has blue hair. It's like, I mean, except Roy, but people didn't like Roy anyway.
Yeah. I guess it's
Well,
because
whatever character
Roy
they
was.
put, people will complain.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was actually gonna ask Mandu if like, yeah, I don't think you've said that much about Fire Emblem. Any thoughts, really?
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I think that the game is really charming with its characters, like you guys said. The strategy part takes a long time to actually like. It takes a lot of thinking before you act. And that takes like most of the gameplay time, I
Or it
think.
could be stupid reckless like me, where I die constantly. Like, oh, that archer's in range of my Pegasus Knight. Don't.
Yeah,
I will say
it's
Awakening is a good introduction to like the strategy games, and I'm actually interested in trying some of the other games like Final Fantasy Tactics and whatnot.
yeah. Actually, that's what I was gonna say. Is that Awakening is like a gateway into Fire Emblem and that kind of games because it has a little bit less complexity than most of the Fire Emblems.
Yeah, the earlier ones do have a couple more things that you have to worry about, such as like weapon weight and rather than like pairing up, there's like a rescue system where it's like a unit that has like a really big rescue number can basically pick up a unit with a lower constitution. As long as the rescue is higher than the constitution, they can rescue them and then carry them back. So it's like if you attack a unit and they're like in danger of dying, you can rescue them with like a Pegasus Knight or something.
Yeah,
That sort of replaces, and that's used in like, at least like the Game Boy Advance games. There's something they do sometimes a little different like other games, but Awakening definitely does make things a lot simpler, therefore a bit easier to get into. But it's still
also
complex, just a way of strategy and just pairing up.
also casual mode, which is like a
Yeah.
for those who were scared of getting into this like characters die for real thing.
You're one of those scared
Uh,
people, aren't you?
well, I did play casual mode and easy when I was playing my first few files,
First few files.
but I didn't want to let anyone die anyways, so it
Yeah, that's
kind of
funny.
started.
It's like, I remember, like, I think one of the first tweets about Awakening I read was like I picked casual. I still reset because I don't want these characters to die.
If anything, just pick casual mode so you can save any turn or whatnot.
That's
So you can
definitely.
just RGNG manipulate the game.
I'm probably gonna do that if I ever feel like
RNG.
braving
Bleh.
into. Ever feel like braving a lunatic? I'll probably put that casual on. I can see what the see what the saving at every time is like.
Really, you have to be a lunatic to beat that lunatic mode on classic.
But yeah,
The
like
game is just insulting you then.
some of these animations though are make you feel really awesome inside, like the crit animations, like the special attack animations
Oh
that
yeah.
randomly trigger too.
Although I've gotten to the point where every time I'm like, ugh, that is so convenient. Let me just skip this cutscene. It's like a weird combination of happiness and disappointment because they do like the shing in Awakening where it's like character close up and then they attack. I'm like, this is too slow. Skip. That
At
had to
least
be.
the voice acting is good.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Which I will warn you, if you go to the previous Fire Emblems, you might be disappointed in comparing the quality. Cough, cough. Path of Radiance. Cough, cough.
Ooh, I'm actually kind of interested because bad voice acting can be pretty entertaining.
I think it's only cutscenes, but yeah.
I'm very curious as to what Fire Emblem looks and plays like on GameCube.
Not as exciting.
What
Just like animation and voice quality wise from what I've seen, honestly.
is it like Pokemon Stadium?
Um, I want to say worse, but thinking back, I think it is maybe on the quality of like the GameCube state Pokemon games.
Oh, okay. But not as good as the N64 one, right?
Well, you didn't see trainers, so yes.
Oh, I gotcha.
Just thinking back with like Coliseum and just their generic walk, walk. Oh, I lost. Boo. Meh. Like it's about as diverse as that.
Dang, I made myself fall into a trap of laughing because when I said Pokemon Stadium, I just remember the announcer. Gross.
Oh, that was the best thing about the games. Now that I think about Stadium, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm just saying it was making me laugh thinking about it.
Seriously, though, it was kind of funny listening to him back then, but now that I think about it, it would be great if newer Pokemon games had that announcer.
Dude, make it the Smash 4 announcer. I make him talk during the fights.
Like, if they did Coliseum and they had, like, oh, it's a Snorlax! Oh, it's Ice Cream Man! It's Blizzard! Oh, it's a one-in! Like, seriously. They do that nowadays with, like competitive games. Like, they actually have video game announcers. If they had that guy for, like, every single video game tournament, oh, man.
I think the handheld Pokemon should
Even
start
if it was just, like,
incorporating it.
generic quotes.
He sure landed that hit.
Just with so much emotion. But yeah, getting back to the subject, the Awakening is definitely took the best of all the previous ones and did it to the best of its quality. Really, like
You know.
it's a reason it's the best-selling Fire Emblem to date.
I only have Fire Emblem the first to tell me that to
Get
beat.
it for you or something?
Hmm?
Do you want me to get it for you or something?
No, I can buy it. I mean, I was gonna say, I've only got Fire Emblem the first to compare it to, so it might just be because I think the first one is better.
Oh,
than all the other
Megafire,
ones.
you should just be like, I sure wish I had Fire Emblem Awakening. I'm so depressed without it.
Yeah.
If only someone
Well.
could buy and mail it over to me at this address. Let me just like, tell you real quick.
Let's get you
Yeah,
the next
I mean-
Fire Emblem, which is the crossover coming out, but it's gonna happen.
Well,
What is it,
apparently
like-
Ella Wood
Like
is in.
Megami Guitar with Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah,
Apparently
I've heard about
Ella.
that series.
Apparently Ella Wood is in Fire Emblem Awakening through Spot Pass. So maybe I will get it now that I found out that one of my favorite characters is in it.
They have like every single character from every single Fire Emblem.
Oh, well, that makes
Really?
Like
sense.
they have Eliwood, Hector, Lynn from like one of the Fire Elements, and then they have like Erica, Ephraim, and Ike, and blah 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 blah. All the other lords.
Isn't Erica or not Erica? Isn't Lynn in what's it called? Assist Trophy and Brawl.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's cool. I like her. She was a very good character.
she's a good lord, both
Yeah.
stat wise and personality wise.
Yeah, she's pretty balanced. She's pretty good.
I wouldn't necessarily say balanced, but still good.
I'm sorry to cut you guys off here, but it's been like more than an hour and 10 minutes.
We could end it.
So yeah, Fire Emblem pretty good. Sonic games, it's hit and miss.
If only Sonic was more like
Emblem's the
Fire
same
Emblem.
way, but the newest Fire Emblem is better than the latest Sonic.
Oh shit,
Let
what's
me-
up? Sonic Fire Emblem Wars.
Sonic General is what we tried to avoid, and yet we still got into that.
Well, if you really are that determined, next podcast, no Sonic allowed. To talk about the not Sonic comic.
So yeah, blue hair protagonists are pretty cool generally.
Well, as if it's not too spiky.
Oh.
Mega
Oh.
Man.
Mega Man doesn't have spiky hair at all.
Have you
That's
seen him without
the
his
joke.
Oh, okay. I thought he did have
Talking
spiky hair.
about Sonic.
Well, shit.
I was
man.
gonna
By the
joke
way.
about some Fire Emblem characters having blue spiky hair. Also, I thought in like, shit, what was the game? Like Mega Man Legends or whatever. I thought you took out the helmet, he had like really spiky hair.
But it's not blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I guess that's it.
No, thank you for listening.
That's a preview for the next podcast. It's Mega Man.
Shit, Paper,
Screwed
don't
you
promise,
guys over, didn't I?
don't promise them things we can't deliver. Maybe. Okay, we'll see about it. Thanks, chat. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Who am I again?
I don't know.